Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So it is once again time for one of those one-off style videos because we are celebrating another milestone on the channel, and that is 400 videos produced so far. For those who don't know, I have been playing for over 4 years at this point, but I've only been in the realm of content creation for the past 2 or so years. And although it probably won't be that significant relative to you, it is pretty significant relative to me because I can't even fathom the fact that I have produced over 400 videos at this point. However, I did approach this one a little bit differently because I did ask you guys on my community tab page. I put up a poll asking what topic you guys would like me to cover for the 400th video milestone, and it was so close between 2 different topics that I decided to make them both. So we're going to do episode 400 and episode 401, which is going to be posted the day after this one. So we're starting off with the winner of the poll with 34% of the vote, which is why do I still enjoy Raid in 2025? Or better yet, do I still enjoy Raid in 2025? I'm not going to beat around the bush here. The answer to that is an unequivocal yes. So thanks for watching. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I do enjoy Raid because when it comes to gaming, my philosophy is if I don't enjoy the game, then I'm not going to spend time playing it, because gaming for me at least is more of a free time thing, and I'd rather spend my free time doing something I enjoy versus something I don't enjoy. Now, that does not mean that I am like a shill for player aim or anything like that. I do have my grievances with some aspects of the game, and we can touch on those a little bit in this video. But overall, is kind of how I describe my content. Overall, I'm like more positive neutral when it comes to all things Raid because I do genuinely enjoy the game. But let's unpack that a little bit, right? Why do I enjoy the game? What do I enjoy about the game? And for that, let's go back in time 4+ years ago and talk about how I first came to start playing the game. Let me know if your origin story differs from myself, but I was in the midst of the COVID pandemic and I was relatively bored, and I was spending a lot of time on Twitch and just watching streamers stream various games. I think Among Us in this particular case, but there was a streamer who I was watching at the time. They did a sponsorship with Raid. I wanted to support said streamer, and I signed up, did the tutorial, did all that thing, and just kind of tried the game just to help them out. They get whatever sponsor does to pay them for getting people to sign up using their links and whatnot. But I did that, and then I didn't stop playing the entire day. I just kept doing quests and missions and killing or completing the campaign, trying to figure things out, and I just kind of found out that I really enjoyed this type of game. For even more context, I believe the game that I've played the longest, like in terms of my overall lifespan, it was actually RuneScape, so like an MMO RPG. And so I've been used to a sort of a long-term grindy game. Granted, RuneScape is more of an RPG. This is more of a champion collector, dungeon crawler type thing, but the kind of core tenets of that are the same, that it's a long-term grind. It's not something you just play, you beat it in a month, and you move on to the next thing. It's a long-term kind of investment type game, so a lot of time and energy goes into it. And so I'm kind of well attuned to that style of game, and so it kind of catered to that aspect that I already enjoyed. But on top of that, there was the whole concept of collecting champions, beating bosses, and doing a lot of other things in the game. And then the biggest allure definitely was kind of like the shall we say chip on the shoulder aspect of like, I see that a lot of people are paying to play this game, and I've heard it was kind of the meme game that we've all seen the crazy ads for. Oh my god, LOL, he plays Raid Shadow Legends. But I wanted to try it out and see how far could I get without spending any money, and that was kind of the initiation of my account and how I wanted to approach the game, long before again the content creation aspect of it. And so as we fast forward through time there, I started to look up YouTube videos to try and learn more about the game, more about champions, what do champions do, what champions are good, what champions are bad, how to beat certain content if I got stuck. And I just kind of got involved more and more with the community. I joined a clan, the same clan that I'm in right now, or the same clan cluster that I'm in right now, and I got together with more people who wanted to learn and play along, who were okay with me being free to play, knowing that there's going to be some sort of ceiling in terms of my capabilities. I'm not going to be able to make up gaps with spending and whatnot. And so I just continued to play and 4 years plus later, here we are still playing and still grinding along, basically doing the same things as far as the game is concerned. But also the game has definitely evolved over those 4 years. Again, I started playing back in 2020. This is before Hydra existed, before Chimera, before Doom Tower, before all of these other PvE and sometimes in some cases PvP aspects of the game were added. So overall, in terms of my play style, the things that I enjoy the most in the game is, number one is definitely building champions. I find that really entertaining, because I know if some people over the years in my comment section have asked why don't you use the HH or Hell Hades optimizer to build your champions better and whatnot, because it's like, well, the thing I enjoy the most is building champions to beat content, and so I don't want to outsource that to a machine, to do it for me. Even though, sure, it might come up with a better build than I can come up with myself. I concede that fact, but I enjoy doing it, so I don't want to give that up. But even more so than that, I'm definitely more of a PvE person. I tolerate PvP, as I like to say it, but I'm definitely more of a PvE enjoyer. I like curating teams to beat content, and so that is definitely what I enjoy the most. And as far as the champion collection aspect going, that's the interesting thing about being free to play, is that you kind of, or at least I know going in, that you're not going to have every champion in the game. Maybe 4 years ago I thought that it might be possible, after a few years, to eventually get every champion in the game, assuming they didn't add any more, but obviously they've added loads and loads and loads of champions over the years, and so I've kind of resolved myself to the fact that that's not realistically going to happen. But nonetheless, there's still champions that I would like to have, even though I may never get them. There's still that chase of like, well, I still want to pull shards, I still want to participate in events, go for fusions and whatnot, because you never know, I might get someone good, or they might release a good fusion champion, which they've definitely done over the past few years. And so there's always that underlying drive to keep progressing and hoping that I get some of those champions that are still on my wish list. I think my primary wish list is like 10 champions long. That's not even counting, duplicates for future empowerment that could be useful as well. So all of that to say that kind of like the core aspects of the game, I just really enjoy. I like building champions to beat content, whether it be PvE or PvP, and I enjoy the aspect of trying to get champions, rare or otherwise, to beat said content. But of course, with all that said, that does not mean that I approve of every single change they've ever made in the game. I've definitely been somewhat outspoken about, I don't like the addition, or never liked the addition of stone skin. I think it's too powerful. My desire is that it would be just fully strippable 100% of the time, therefore you get high risk, high reward, but I understand that would kind of upset at least the current game balance. I was never a fan of polymorph being added to the game. I was fine with blessings overall, but polymorph as a blessing is definitely still to this day, despite going through a couple of nerfs over the years. I think it's still powerful. There are plenty of OP champions that I think should still be nerfed. Trunda comes to mind, the resetting of resets, so double Yumiko, Kaimar, all those combinations, resetting of resets, I think that should be taken out of the game. I think Armand's is too powerful still. I think Siegfried is too powerful. The list goes on. There are plenty of champions who I think that they should nerf, but they probably won't because of community sentiment. So point being, there are plenty of things that I don't like about the game, but overall my view of it is positive, and I know that they're progressing in a direction that I am okay with, and thus I continue to play. Could that change in the future? Perhaps, but that's probably unlikely, just because they're going in a fairly predictable direction. So I'm not really worried about that, and I'm not really looking for a reason to quit either. I know a lot of people kind of have that mindset where they're like, if they do one more thing, I'm out the door, which is like, sure. But at that point, it's like you already don't enjoy it, so you might as well just leave, in my opinion, at least. But I genuinely do enjoy the game. I look forward to future updates. And for right now, I am enjoying, of course, their most recent release, of which is Hard Mode Faction Wars. This is the exact type of content that I enjoy. It's PvE, and it's kind of just, who do you have? What champions do you have built? How are they geared? And can they tackle the waves and the bosses and whatnot? And that's exactly what I'd like to see more of in terms of game content. So I'm very, very content here in 2025. But yeah, now I'll turn it over to you guys. How are you guys feeling, your overall vibe with the raid in the current state of the game in 2025? What do you like? What do you dislike? Do you see yourself playing it for the next 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and so on? Or are you one of those people that's kind of on the fence or ready to quit at any moment's notice? Like I mentioned at the start, this is part 1 of the 400th video celebration, so stay tuned for the part 2, talking about why I still do every single fusion that I possibly can. As always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel, and feel free to hit the subscribe button down below as well if you are enjoying the content overall on my channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.